So, what could be cooler than a fake Testarossa? Well, a fake Lamborghini, of course. Okay, yeah, so you guys have seen the Turbo Rossa, which is my '89 Trans Am, turned into a Testarossa. But of course, check this thing out. It's an anniversary Lamborghini Countach. No, it is. It's a Fiero, as most of them usually are. This one's interesting though because normally they're stretched, and this one is not stretched. It's stock Fiero length, but I think it looks really good, and I think it's pretty well done. I mean, it's nice and crisp and clean. The rear wing is done really well. Of course, it is a Targa, which was never a thing, but it comes in handy out here. This one's also an automatic, which I like. And this belongs to my friend. It's Mike's car. Well, tell me a little bit about this thing, because I really don't want to look at it. We know it's a Fiero with a V6.
Right. It's a
Who made it?
1989. It was built by DNR Replicars out of Kittersville, Pennsylvania, back in '98. Yeah, it's they're out of business, like a lot of those guys. Yeah, right. Automatic. My friend Bob, who had it built by them, Daryl Corbin, who went on to do Corbin boats and stuff like that. Anyways, when they built it, they're one of the few manufacturers.
You mean Corbin?
Corbin.
Down in
Corbin,
Florida?
No, K-I-R-B-A-N.
Okay.
Corbin. Yeah. He started doing boats after he did the Lambos. But, yeah, automatic. My friend Bob, who had it built, he ran out of money. He was going to put a Corvette engine in it, but he never did. So, automatic stock V6, you know.
Which I think is better. There's people out there that don't. They want it to be a stick, but I would prefer the automatic.
Yeah. Well, it's all show, not much go, but I'm getting to the age where I'm not, racing anymore. And
it looks awesome going down the road, I can tell you that.
Yeah. This is, one of two now that it's in Vegas.
Wow.
There's a white one somewhere, but I know the other one's sold in Florida. But people ask me all the time if I want to sell it. My wife's connected to it so much. She loves it.
You sell it, I could. I'm like, yeah.
Here's this high-tech prop rod here.
Yeah. That's okay. Oops, my cord got stuck on the wing. So, yeah, standard Fiero V6 back there, which, gets it on down the road. I mean, it's a pretty lightweight car. And then you have storage back here. This opens up. Is there even a latch holding it down?
Nope.
So just general wind force just keeps it from going anywhere. That's interesting. I can see the back wheel. That's interesting. Just its own weight holds it down. And then the trunk area. Has that got a latch on it, or is it just gravity?
Yeah.
So like you hit a railroad tracks and then everything pops. There you go. That's, people want to see what's inside these things. So, you have a Fiero, but they've stretched, obviously. They've made this bracketry here to extend, I suppose.
Yeah, the wiring needs to be redone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think, it's actually pretty well done. I think the doors on it are really interesting, though, because your doors are different than a Lamborghini. I will say, for one thing, they did put the filler in there, which is supposed to be. That's a good thing. It's a remote that opens the door. There it is. Now, I noticed it goes outward rather than straight up, which is sort of a kind of a, like when you're looking at it straight on, you can see how it moves outward like a McLaren or something, or what is the car that does that? But, and you said these are like a Diablo style seat?
Yeah, I've just got
with covers on them, yeah.
We tested for 2, I'm 6 feet, and I just barely fit it. But I've got the top and the windows.
Are you going to put the top on it before you leave? Or are you going to leave it on? Well, if you want to put it back on, we'll get some video of it on there, see what it looks like. But I like that this is real glass. Are the side windows real glass?
They're not.
The plexiglass? Okay. But it's actually, it's cool that it's like a Targa top, like a T-top type of thing, because that way you can, really get maximum airflow out of this thing. What'd you say you thought the taillights were like?
Just being able to see.
Yeah.
And then I got a little camera here. So
oh, perfect.
Back. Otherwise, you can, keep the top on.
But you said these were like off a Chevette or something?
1980s Chevette.
Wow. This thing is actually awesome. I mean, people like to make fun of these cars all the time, but like...
You don't see them anywhere.
You don't see them anywhere.
And the real ones are all garage queens.
And the thing about it is, like, you know, it's just so cool. I mean, the Countach is now on a new level of mythology where you're not going to see them driving around pretty much. You know, the Countachs are now coming up on $1 million for one of those. And, you know, I never, ever, ever see a Countach outside of a museum or maybe at some kind of a concours or something. I know my buddy Hoovy has one, and he doesn't even want to drive his any longer just because they're so valuable. And your chances of seeing or owning one of these is pretty slim. I mean, I make a decent living, but I am never going to be able to afford a real Countach. It's never going to happen. Miss that boat. Oh, hey, you got to be able to live in it. We were having this discussion just recently, like, you know, we watch Harry's Garage. He talks about how he bought his Countach for like 67,000 pounds 10 years, or, you know, back in 2010. We all had that opportunity at one point to be able to buy one of these, maybe. You know, like the last time I considered buying one, I think it was about 85 grand. That was way too much money for me at that time. It's too much money for me now. And so now that I don't think you can get into a Countach for less than 300 or 400 grand for a beat-up car, you know, you're just not going to. And so I think there may be a resurgence in the replicas, because if you want to be able to enjoy something like this, there's only one way to do it with a fake one, you know, because let's face it, like, you're not going to get a Daytona. You're not going to get an original GT40. You're not going to get an original Shelby Cobra. It's just not going to happen unless, even if you're uber rich, the opportunity to buy one just isn't even there. So I'm really interested. I want to do one of these cars, and I was begging him to sell it to me, but he didn't want to sell it. He wanted to keep it. For now, I'm going to enjoy this cool little Testarossa thing. You know, I got this thing, and it's a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun with this. You can still get a Testarossa reasonably. I mean, you can find them. I've seen them for as low as 100 grand for a really beat up car that needs work, and they average about 125 to 150 grand. That's still a lot of money for a car, but a Countach, you are not going to get one. So, yeah, I see. That's interesting. You have to put it down first, or? Oh, I see. Oh, that's a lot of effort. It's not too much effort, but it looks legit when it's in.
Exactly. Yeah.
I see. So is there like a wing nut or something? Oh, I see. There's a... You're kidding.
No, 2 wood screws.
Wow.
There's nothing pulling them out, you know what I mean?
So you're going to leave the windows off, obviously, when you leave.
When I leave, I'll leave one down.
Might as well leave them both out.
Well,
Yeah.
It's only 106, Bob.
Yeah. It's actually cooled down. I think it's probably only about 104.
Yeah.
It's not that hot. If you need me to grab the other side there. Oh, one of your rubbers come off there. There you go. So here, pass it over to me. Okay. Yeah. I see. That's it. Wow, looks great.
And it's got 4 screws on the inside.
Hey, you know what? While you've got it like this, let me see if I can sit in this thing with the hood on. Move Batman out of the way. Can't get my seat back all the way.
Yep, as far as it's going to go back.
Oh my gosh! Ow! You know what? This isn't so bad at all. Like
You can tilt the wheel down. I usually tilt it up when I, yeah.
I think, dude, I got tons of headroom in here. Seriously, I got like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I could do this. Oh, you're gonna have a hard time getting me out of this. This is great. Oh, I could do this.
And you look good in it too. Yeah.
Don't I?
Yep.
This is great. I could totally drive this, especially as an automatic. Now, like there's plenty of foot room down here as a Fiero compared to the real Lamborghini. But like, if this was just an automatic or whatever, I could totally do this. This would be very easy. This would be great, really. Wow. All right, now this is the funny part. Watching me get out of this thing. With the top off, it's super easy, I'm sure. But, oh my gosh.
I put my right hand on the steering wheel and pull myself up, and
No, it's a GM. Don't ever use the steering wheel. I know this. It's not so bad. You know, it's you wouldn't want to do it as a lady in a dress. You know, it's not flattering to get out, but we're gonna go for a ride in this thing. It smells like a real Lamborghini. So I'm gonna take it for a little ride around the block just to check it out. Man, dash for days. Like you could land a helicopter on it. Yeah. It's a pretty narrow field of view with this pillar, and I've never been in a real Countach, so I don't really have anything to compare it to. But these side windows are kind of functional because, like, you totally need these, for sure. You can turn right at that light, follow that Prius. Wow. It is nice with the target top, I gotta say. That makes it way easier, for sure. Well, that happens to me in my cars, too. People will follow you all the way home.
Like, yeah, I always take the back.
Like, come on, dude. Yeah, the back of this thing, like, the wing. Oh, it's such a good. It's got such a good look. The anniversary has those straights in it, like the Ferrari. Amazing. It pulls in pretty good. This might be too much fake for the hardcore. You know, the haters. You know, it's not real. Yeah, well, like whatever. So are a lot of titties, and they're still pretty awesome. So we got so you can see what it looks like with the top and the windows on, so you kind of get a view of how it looks. I know it's not like exactly like the Teslas, or I mean but you know it's still definitely cool. This thing gets looks, and most people aren't familiar with what a real Countach looks like anyway. They don't know it has round headlights. They don't know that it's longer. They don't know that it's wider. You know. But it's actually it's really well put together, and I love that the filler is actually in the back dug like it's supposed to be. That's cool. Instead of on the body, which so many people do. The wheels look so legit. Those are really cool wheels. Badging is done really well. I really like the way this wing is because I see a lot of people that make the wing stick to your leg. This is done really well. Like, when you have certain design elements, just build quality can go a long way, in my opinion. So even if you have a car that's not necessarily accurate, build quality will supersede the accuracy. And I think it's built well. And that's how I felt about my Turbo Rosa. You know, it has real Ferrari lights on it, real Ferrari badges. The front end is done really well. The build quality of the gaps and things. When you look at a lot of the kit cars that are out there, they don't fit this tight. Like how flush that is. So that's the stuff that makes a car kind of more legit. But it's not even about being legit. It's not about trying to pretend to be something you're not. It's about how to enjoy the car, and there's certain things that just have to replicate because there's not a way to have the real thing. Anyway, thanks so much for bringing it. It's so awesome. This was the coolest thing I've done all week. Yeah, this thing is, I'm just in awe of it. Love it. It's beautiful. Wow, that was a fun experience. Thanks again for bringing that over. Man, I 100% have got to do one now. No doubt about it. Got to have a Countach replica. You know, I've told the story before about when I was 16 years old, I wanted to order one of those IFG kits out of Kit Car Magazine for $5 grand. And, never pulled it off. But after really experiencing it, gotta have one. And I've got some ideas of how I want to do it. I want to do a custom chassis, original style body, and kind of maybe. But this thing's a lot of fun. My other cars are a lot of fun. And really, when you think about it, I've always been in the business of replicas. Back to the Future replica, Ghostbusters replica, the Blues Brothers replica, A-Team replica. List goes on.
And when people ask me, hey, what do you want to do? That I want to do a Countach replica, and I want it so bad right now. So, you know, if you know anybody, if you mention in the comments, anybody in particular, I know Prola makes one that's really cool. A lot of people make them. In the meantime, I'm going to have to keep looking and preparing for it. Thanks for hanging out with me here in Vegas at the Hunter Banter. So, more content coming. Hey, if you like this video and this is the kind of thing you're into, you might want to consider subscribing. Turn on your notifications so that you live videos all the time. It's going to be fun.
You good? There he goes.